Well, I finally made it across country to Montana from Massachusetts for the first orienteering event. What I'll be doing in this video is showing the journey for the day. I won't show the details of the actual event itself because that will be in a separate, much longer video which you may or may not be interested in, and that will be linked to at the end of this one. In the morning I had time for another walk around Ovando before heading off to the event. It was a very small place, but kind of interesting. Turns out that Ovando was named after a gentleman who traveled there from Massachusetts, my home state. And the Lewis Minus a Clark expedition spent time here as well. Yeah, watch out for the bears. There was a fatal bear attack in Ovando about a year earlier. Pretty unusual. So eventually it was time to leave Trixie's, where I'd spend the night, and head off to the event. Rather damp looking morning. There was some rain forecast. I wasn't sure how wet it was going to be, but it did rain while I was driving there, which would have made the woods pretty wet. Eventually I got there, coming from a different direction because I'd overshot it. Not good for an orienteer. The main event site was off to the right, but because of the size of the van and the fact that the parking lot was really going to be very crowded, I had to park a little bit further away. In this spot, turned out there was nobody else there. If you don't know what orienteering is, I'll put some links in the description below to some videos about the sport. And here's just a few clips from the orienteering video, in case it whets your appetite to go watch it. 5 to 6, definitely going straight was an option, Route 1. Route 2 was another option. Go down to the trail bend, cut across the small trail, follow it till it bends, and then in. And that's where the control should be. Let's check this out. That's a long way to guess with bits of green. After the event, it was a relatively short drive down to Missoula on what was still a pretty damp, overcast day with occasional bits of rain in it. Although it was quite a pretty drive, so I didn't mind that. Through some small towns into Missoula, through a small residential area, then down to a bit of a track that led into Grass Valley Farms, which was a harvest host location that I was staying at for the night. I had to drive through the farmyard to get to the lane that goes out the back of the farmyard area. Didn't get stuck in any of the mud there. It wasn't too bad. There were a couple of places they allow RVs to park. I was going up that small dirt ramp on the right, and the van didn't have any problem getting up, even though it was a little bit steep. Just drive onto the grass. Do a little semicircular loop so I could turn the van around and have a nice view out the side of the van. Grass here was very tall, but the van drove on it fine. And this is what my parking spot for the night looked like. Grass Valley Farms. They had things for sale, meats, although they were basically out when I was there, but I did get a lovely jar of homemade honey. In the evening, the farmer host came over and we had a great conversation talking about things I do on the farm, about where I'd come from, what I've been doing that day with orienteering, and a couple of the other farmhands came along. It was a very pleasant conversation. The neighbors from the RV next to me came over. They're from West Virginia. They shared some beer and we had a great conversation, and this is how some of it went when they explained who they were. Tell me what you do here.
What do I do?
What do you do here
I'm the
apart from drinking beer?
microbiologist. So I'm responsible for making compost extracts that we put on our pivots. So the reason why we're running the pivot right now in a rainstorm is not
I was
because
wondering
we need the
about
water.
that when I came here.
It has nothing to do with the water. It's because that little tank beside of it is full of predatory microbiology. So what we're trying to do, all right, all farm soils are heavy in bacteria, and so we're putting out protozoa and nematodes and some microarthropods that go and eat that bacteria and convert the nutrients into a form that the plant will uptake. So we make a healthier plant, and it improves the quality of our soil significantly and quickly. So
Cool.
that's what I do. What do you do, Phil?
What do you do?
Ranch hand, move pipe. that's about it.
All day.
Yeah. Sometimes try to fix dams.
Yeah.
So what do you do then?
I get wet and muddy. I operate equipment mostly.
And what are their names?
Brisky.
I'm Christina. This is Kay Moore.
Cameron.
And Brewski's eating grass right now. We're from West Virginia.
Didn't know that was in a dog's diet.